how to pay your credit card off even without earning any extra money. This is a special for An Intentional Business Life. Hi guys, and welcome to An Intentional Business Life. And this is one of the special, I think I did promise it last week. I got a little bit delayed on the filming of this one, but it's how to pay your credit card off. I did have one of the people DM me, give me a private message and say, Michael, you talk about, own your own property, own your own house or apartment, have an investment property or have an income producing asset that covers all the bills, then have an income producing asset that replaces your wages, and then you can start building real wealth. And they said, the problem is I've still got a credit card. I don't want to be negative, and that's why I'm DMing you. And look, you're not, Joanne and Dave, you're not being negative at all. I totally get you. And thank you for asking me, by the way. I must say thank you for that, because even I forget. I had credit cards too, but we misstep sometimes. We forget what it's like when we were like that. So I want to give you the formula for paying your credit card off. Now, I know banks don't talk about this. There are other people that talk about it, and it isn't hard. And I don't want you to stress and think, I've got to go do one of these side gigs, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Obviously, I talk to business people, and we're trying to increase their profits in their business, and getting yourself debt-free is the first step. So thank you so much for asking about how to get rid of a credit card. I'm going to show you the formula without putting any extra money on the card. And of course, if you're growing your business and making extra money, I'd advise you do. You just get rid of these credit cards. So I've written some numbers down. This is a real life scenario that I've taken, so I can't actually say the person's name. Gary, how you going? But I won't say their surname. Okay, so they were earning $60,000 a year when I met them. This is a few years ago. We're in 2024 now. I think it was back in 2020 or something like that, so 4 years ago. They're on $60,000 a year. Now, which is about, I'll just round the numbers, because obviously I can't remember the exact dollars and cents, but it's roughly $5,000 a month back then. The issue was that the expenses that they had totaled $5,000 a month, which included $400 a month. They had to make a minimum payment on the credit card, and the credit card, I'm just having a look, a $10,000 balance they had on the credit card. So in my mind, it's not too serious, but it's getting up there, right? And I know there's people with bigger credit cards than that, but it's getting up there, so let's get rid of it. So they had $10,000 credit card. They needed to pay a minimum payment of $4,000 a month. Now, that credit card, because they hadn't been paying, this is interesting, if you don't pay your credit card down and you haven't got any equity on your card, this is when they put interest rates up. So you can knock them down to 20%. You will get 0% interest cards as well. I'll talk about that later if anyone wants me to talk about that. But you can go to your bank and talk about 0% interest cards to get ahead. But the first thing you got to do is knock some of this debt down. So it's 25%. Now they charge daily, so that would be a 0.068%. So you're basically looking about $208 per month in interest. So $400 a month is just not cutting it, because you've got the whole interest for the whole month. So $5,000. Now I remember that with Gary's money, it was round about $2,500 like in rents and various stuff like that going on, and $2,500 in all your other, your food and the bits and pieces like that going on, and including the $400 off the card, which virtually left zero money. Okay. Now, the problem was that, and the psychological thing is, you try to keep your money in your bank, right? Because it feels good. You've got some cash there, even though you spend it all, you got nothing at the end of the month. What you don't want to do is you don't want to do that. And I think what happens is some of us think of a credit card more like a bill. It's a bill you have to pay every month. And to me, it's not. A credit card is an operating expense account. It's an operational account. Okay, so even when you pay your credit card off, I still have a credit card and I use it to pay bills, and I pay it off every month. I pay 0% interest, and it's an operating expense. The reason I do it is obviously because I get frequent flyer points and all the rest of all the good stuff that they offer you. So it's a very good way to operate. But so think of it not now as a bill, but it's going to become a operating account. So now there are some people, in Gary's case, he could pay the whole $5,000 off, right? And then pay the rent out of the credit card. Now, there are some restrictions. I live in Australia, and there are some restrictions. Some cards will not let you pay your rent on the card, and you'd have to discuss that with your actual landlord or the person, the property manager, whatever. So let's say you can't. Let's just say half of it. So we're going to pay $2,500 off your $10,000 credit card. We are going to keep the $2,500 you need for your rents and your bits and pieces, and we're going to pay half the money straight off the credit card. Frightening, I know, because now your bank account's in zero. But remember, your credit card now is not a bill, it's an operational account. Okay, so it's totally different. This is this is an account you're going to use to pay bills and so forth. Because you've paid the $2,500 off, you've totally absorbed your $400, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay. Now, yes, you're going to spend your next $2,100, because remember, $400 of that was actually the credit card thing itself. So you're going to spend your $2,100 paying your normal bills, but now you're going to do it on the credit card, get more points. By the way, by paying it off, you get a better credit rating when we build our business and we go to buy the houses and so forth like that. So doing that, your balance at the end of the month is $9,600. Now, not $10,000. If you'd done the other way, you'd pay your $400 off, and at the end of the month, you look at it and it's still $10,000. That's just how it is. Doing it this way, now you've got a balance of $9,600. Now, if you're doing the second month, $9,600, you pay again your $2,500 off, and then you spend $2,100. You're actually down to $9,300. Yeah. And if you do it on the third month, you'll be down to $8,800. Wow. You've actually built some credit up there. You've actually got on your balance sheet now, you're actually reduced. So your credit score is going up. You've got access to money in an emergency. But the beautiful thing is you're saving a fortune in interest. Now, if you continue this, even without doing any extra payments, you're probably looking at a 15 to 17 months, and that $10,000 will be gone without even doing any extra payments whatsoever. What I always say is that if you're earning extra money in your business, put the extra money on the credit card. Pay it off the credit card so you're not paying the interest. It's an operating account, guys. It's not a bill, it's an operating account. So don't get frightened. Just use the credit card to pay for things. This is a discipline factor. That's all it is. And really it is mind over matter. The credit card is now your operating account. You pay bills out of it. As money comes in, you power it off the credit card. You're going to get your frequent flyer points. You're going to get your better credit status. You're going to get banks offering you a larger credit limit. When you go for loans, it's one of the first things they look at. Where's your payments? Oh, wow, look at this person. Look at what they actually pay every month off their credit card. And that discipline will really help you. I really did appreciate the question. I hope that really helps you. It's an exclusive to you guys on the Intentional Business Life program. Thanks for joining me here on Patreon. It really helps. If someone else has any questions around this, please just send them in, put them in the comments, ask me. But it's that simple. Change your mindset. The credit card is an operating business account now. It's a business account. You're going to put all the money on it and you're going to use it. And without earning any extra money and without making any extra payments, you're going to pay it off. So imagine what you're going to be able to do when you do make the extra payments, because you do earn extra money, because we're building your business. I'll see you next week on An Intentional Business Life.